Hi there, welcome back to another episode of Speak Up for Blue TV, where you get the latest, greatest, and not so greatest ocean news happening around the world today, and you get my take on it. I'm Andrew Lewin, founder of SpeakUpForBlue.com, a website dedicated to supporting that ocean conservation movement through awareness, education, and action. Welcome to the show today. Today we're going to be talking about stingrays and the bad reputation that they have. And the reason why we're talking about that and the reason why they have a bad reputation is because in 2006, we lost a great and entertaining ocean leader, doing what he loves best. Steve Irwin died from a puncture wound in his heart by a stingray while shooting his latest episode of the Crocodile Hunter, a very popular and entertaining show back then. Steve was trying to show how gentle these creatures are and teaching viewers about their biology, especially of the stinger in the back. As Steve was lifting in the water, he was lifting a stingray from behind. He got the stinger stuck in his heart. Of course, died later of his injuries. And such a freak accident, caused the loss of a man who loved nature and wildlife. Now, since then, stingrays have really got a bad reputation. I hear people talking about, I don't want to, go where stingrays are because they're dangerous. I don't want to suffer the same fate as Steve Irwin. And I constantly tell people that stingrays are extremely gentle animals, and no one would tell them more than Steve Irwin himself. And he's probably turning over in his grave knowing that stingrays have a bad reputation because of what happened to him. He was all about conservation. And Richard Wiley, a marine biologist in Australia, has the same sort of attitude, and he's also disappointed by the reputation gained by this peaceful animal. He writes in an opinion piece on the web that since the Steve Irwin incident, there have been many instances where the mutilation and death have occurred of stingrays by humans, all because of this bad reputation, because of one freak incident. So now what are we going to do about this reputation? We've got to change this perspective. Well, first of all, I think we need to educate people on how gentle these animals and how harmless they actually are. We can't allow anybody to portray these animals as dangerous because of what they would, because that would be a complete and utter lie. Next, we need to teach divers and snorkelers how to actually behave around stingrays in the water, in the stingray's environment. For instance, no one should touch the animal, a stingray, while they're snorkeling or diving, or they shouldn't be touching any kind of wildlife at all while they're diving, while they're on these excursions, especially from behind. You got to remember, the stinger above the tail is on the tail for a reason, is to prevent any kind of predator from coming in and chomping down from behind on the stingray. So if say a shark or any kind of other fish kind of try and grab their tail, they get a nice stinger in the mouth, and with a little bit of a poison in that stinger. Now, it may not kill the animal, but it'll definitely stop the animal from biting right away because it gets this nice jab in the neck or in the mouth, which I think would stop a lot of animals or a lot of people in general. So that's another thing we need to do. And the final thing we really need to do is we need to look into protecting stingrays as a species and as a community. In areas especially where deaths are happening and mutilations are happening because of humans. This step was probably the best way to drastically reduce any of this type of deaths or mutilation. It'll probably eliminate most of them, and because they're happening for a reason none other than a bad reputation. So, this brings me to the question of the day: how else do you think we can protect stingrays? And do you think they actually need to be protected? Are you afraid of them? Lots of questions. Write about them in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on stingrays and what you think about it, especially those divers who have actually been around stingrays. I've seen one or two in my day. It's been a great experience, but I want to know of people who dive regularly and snorkel regularly and actually see these incredible species up close all the time, and name your instances, name your species that you've seen, share it with the community, share how much of a good time you've had or a bad time. Let us know. I really want to know how you feel. And of course, if you want to see more of the stuff that we do, subscribe to our channel, and click on the annotation above to subscribe to our channel. Click on the annotation to my right to look at the latest or the last episode that we put on YouTube. And of course, click on the annotation below to see anything we've ever done on our YouTube channel. We've got about 34 episodes, including this one now. We keep pumping out material 3 or 4 times a week. And essentially we're doing this to try and build ocean leaders, make you an ocean leader, make your friends and your family ocean leaders by speaking up about these issues and getting them discussed in the public forum so that people know what's going on and how things are conserved and how things work in sort of the ocean conservation movement. So that's the end of our show today. I hope you enjoyed reading this and listening to this as much as I did making it. This is really important, these issues to get discussed. Until next time, my name is Andrew Lewin, founder of SpeakUpForTheBlue.com. Happy conservation.